Hey y'all, hi. So here we are at my vanity, and today I am going to film a classic old school shop my stash changeover. So I'm going to take the products that I shopped my stash for the last time I filmed a video of this nature. I'm going to go through those products and let you know kind of how it went having them front and center on my vanity for the past month or so. I'm going to put them away, and then I'm going to pick a new little batch of products to feature in my life over the coming month. The point of stash shopping like this is to make good use of what you already have, to do it in an intentional way, choosing special pieces intentionally and then working with them repeatedly over a period of time kind of makes them feel new again. I always find that rearranging, organizing sheds a new light on old products, helps me remember how much I actually love what I already have, and helps to quell the urge to buy more. If this is your first time to my channel, I really hope that you enjoy it here. My name is Hannah, and you know, I love beautiful things. My channel is about fashion and beauty, but I try not to promote overspending, and I try not to overspend myself. So I really enjoy projects like this that spotlight what's already here. And if you enjoy it too, I hope you'll subscribe. Now let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. So this is the makeup from my last Shop My Stash video, which was actually a talking head style video. So I filmed it downstairs in my studio rather than up here. And that video was about summer makeup trends. So I actually shopped my stash for makeup that I could use to recreate some makeup looks that are trending right now. I will, of course, link that video in the cards and in the description box. And if you watch it, you can see me put most of this makeup on my face. And I have continued to use it and wear it since then, most of it, and I'll let you know now how it has gone. This is actually not a Shop My Stash item, it's just a little makeup mirror from Merit. I find it really useful to have a little close-up mirror like this on my vanity, so I keep it here most of the time no matter what. By far, my most used of these products that I picked out in that video since I filmed it has been the Rouge face palette. So La Palette Visage by the brand Rouge, or I think they're now calling themselves La Fille en Rouge. It's this highlight right here that I picked for the dewy skin, like dewy face all over trend, and I've worn it almost every single day. I've only taken breaks from it to use other products that I'm testing for review to create that exact same look. Because I've had this in my hands so much, I have found myself reaching for this blush sometimes when I feel like I want to add a little bit of color to my cheeks. I want it to blend in seamlessly with the dew. This is a subtler color and a subtler formula than either of the two blushes that I had in this Shop My Stash. So it's been useful when I want a lighter blush look. And I've found that I've really loved wearing this really glossy, wet look highlight on its own. There have been some days when I made my entire face look really glossy, then went in with a blush and felt like it sort of detracted from the look. It's been that sort of monochromatic, almost washed out, but very wet cheek that has been doing it for me lately. So this is a smash hit. And I think that reconnecting with it through this Shop My Stash project is actually going to mean that I think of it more often and reach for it more often even after I put it away. However, being so into that monochromatic, sort of washed out, glossy cheek look has meant that these incredible blushes from Phytosurgence haven't gotten very much play during this Shop My Stash project. I intentionally picked colors that are really, really bright for me, like statement for me, because a strong cheek was the trend that I was shopping my stash for. So that's Fervor right there, and that's Simmer, and actually they look really similar under this lighting in those thick swatches, but when you blend them out, you start to see the undertones better. And they don't have to be as intense as they can be. I love this formula. I love the melty creaminess of it, and I was hoping that my enjoyment of using this formula would cause me to use these more, even though I haven't been as into strong cheek colors lately. But their presence on my vanity just got totally overridden by the desire to do that sort of icy, glossy cheek. So I might pick a different blush when I go shopping my stash this time if there's something that's really calling my name. But I think I'm going to keep Simmer, this one, which, you know, is this really intense sort of peachy coral, but when it's blended out, I can make it look like quite a natural flush on me, a strong flush, but a natural one. I think I might keep it for another round because when I realized that I was going to be switching these products out and I realized how little I had actually worn these, I was disappointed. All right, the Rowan 1111 quad. I got decent use out of this one too. This was my pick for the frosty trend, and I specifically picked it for this eyeshadow situation, which is very frosty, crushy textured, and can be used because these are cream shadows anywhere on the face. So I mostly used it on the eyes and the brow bone, which is like where it's intended to go. Didn't really use it on the lips after that video, but I did sometimes pop it on the tips of my cheekbones because it added a little bit of color without taking away from that sort of washed out, pale, shiny, wet cheek look that I was creating on so many days. So it served its purpose, and it was also really fun to reconnect with the Rowan formula, which is an old favorite of mine that I hadn't really worked with in a while. Okay, the lips. It was 90s browns that I was going for in that other video. Gucci, A Royal Scandal, and Merit 1990 both got a lot of action because they were sitting front and center on my vanity. It helps that they're two of my all-time favorite lip colors. I mean, this was kind of a softball for myself with emulating trends. It takes nothing to encourage me to wear either one of these lip products. And I actually ended up wearing the Gucci a lot. I tend to reach for the Merit lipsticks by default all the time because I really love them. I love the formula. It's super wearable because it's a lipstick, but it's got almost this chapsticky, waxy consistency that makes it wear really naturally on the lips. The Gucci satin formula is a more classic lipstick formula, and so it's a little bit quote unquote harder to wear. But funnily enough, it was actually A Royal Scandal that I wore, I think, the most out of these two. Because I'm so olive, even though it's this grayish brown, it ends up looking like a pretty natural, slightly grungy, flushed lip, especially when it's blotted. So I was reaching for it for that, just to kind of add a little color to my face on a lot of days, and it ended up in a lot of Instagram pictures. Unfortunately, I think A Royal Scandal has been discontinued. I just saw that Gucci released some new shades of this lipstick for summer, and there's one that looks kind of like a slightly rosier version of A Royal Scandal. It's as if it didn't sell maybe well enough. Like they need a color like this in their range, but they wanted it to be a little bit more normal. Bad news for me and people who have my coloration, but at least they replaced it with something kind of A Royal Scandal adjacent. So I'll put these back in the lipsticks drawer. I'll miss having them out here, but it's not going to stop me from wearing them. And actually, you know, it's been kind of unfair to my other lip products to have these in my face all the time because nothing else has really gotten any attention. Okay, these beautiful eyeshadow palettes. I picked these, the original Gucci palette, which I also think isn't available anymore, and the Pat McGrath Midnight Sun palette. I picked these because each one of them has shades in it that I could use for color, to put just like a wash of a single color on my lids. And it was the pops of color makeup trend that I was trying to access here. They didn't get that much play, mostly because I haven't been wearing that much eyeshadow lately. And when I have, I've been looking for something really subtle, really natural, because again, I've been so into that sort of washed out monochromatic look. On a lot of days, I've been going for a really wet look skin and no eye makeup at all, including mascara, and really appreciating that. But I did do it a little bit. I did play with the blue Gucci color. It always ends up being easier and more wearable than I think it's going to be. A bright shade all over the lid, especially if everything else is pretty simple. But I think that for me to wear the bright colors in these palettes a lot over the last couple of weeks, I would have had to really force myself to do it. And it would have been to the detriment of other products that I really was feeling super excited about using. And you know, I'm just not about that life. So it was fun having them here on my vanity, kind of taunting me, reminding me of a potential direction that I could have gone in for my makeup on any given day. But I didn't end up using them as much as some of the other makeup for which I shopped my stash last time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put these away in their drawers with the exception of Phytosurgent's Shimmer, which is going to stay out and join the next round. Okay, it's time to pick out the next round of products, and I'm not going to have a guideline this time. So I'm not trying to shop my stash for any particular trends. I really want to pull products that I feel really super excited about wearing right now. I kind of want to go easy on myself and just make an edit of my sort of current best of the best, so that when I sit down to do my makeup in the morning and I look right here into this spot, it'll feel really juicy and inviting and make me want to go for it. And because I have been eschewing eyeshadow, let's start with eyeshadow. Okay, so here's the eyeshadow drawer. I have some more palettes than this that aren't up here. I keep them downstairs in the studio so that I have easy access to them when I'm filming down there, and because it's nice not to be overwhelmed by too many choices when I'm actually sitting down to work with my makeup. So I'll rotate them in from time to time. I feel like there's enough here for me to choose from. And even though it's not old makeup, I just have to pull the Natasha Denona Glam palette. I mean, it is old makeup in that it's not a new release, but it's not old to me. I reviewed this recently and it was my first time trying this palette. I was really, really excited about it when I did the review. And then because I have not been doing that much eyeshadow and because I've been reviewing stuff, I haven't gotten to use it as much as I wanted to. In that review video, that Natasha Denona video, I said, this is making me more excited about eyeshadow than I felt in a while. And then I haven't really been able to act on that excitement because it's been put away in the drawer. There have been other things in my face, and I just really want to get started on actively using the Glam palette. So I'm going to shop my stash for this. And you know, to complement that or to encourage myself to sometimes push it a little bit, I'm also going to pick out this Victoria Beckham Eye Kajal. I love the formula of this product. Here you can really see it. I love the formula of this. It's really, really creamy, really easy to work with. And this is one of the ones that has a little bit of sparkle in it, but it's this dark, dramatic color. You know, it's got some grunge, which makes it work really well for me with my tastes. It just lends itself to a bit of a smoky eye, to a more defined eye. You know, as a piece of makeup, it makes me want to use it, but I haven't been doing that much eye makeup that's like that lately. So I think it'll be interesting to put this on my vanity with the Glam palette, because obviously they can complement each other. I think a lot of times using the Glam palette, I'm going to be leaning into the one and done looks, the more natural for me colors, but I'm hoping that with this on top of my vanity as well, I might be encouraged to sometimes go for a little bit more of like a Bridget Bardot fantasy, which will allow me to go easy on the rest of my face, like a light lip, light complexion, and feature the eyes, which is what I haven't been doing. Okay, this is complexion and other everyday products like mascara, and this is cheek products. So blush, bronzer, highlight, everything that goes on the cheeks. Of course, we already have Phytosurgent's Simmer, a really bright blush, which makes me think that I need to shop my stash for the opposite of that so that I have another option. I also know that I'm going to miss that glossy wet look highlight from the Rouge palette. I mean, it's not like I can't reach in here and, you know, grab it, but I would like to see if I can replace it, like pull something else to use for that same effect. And actually the most viable option, the best option, is the e.l.f. Active Lip and Cheek palette. This is a spectacular e.l.f. creation a couple of years ago that unfortunately got discontinued. I don't know if it was that it was never meant to be permanent or what, but I absolutely love these kind of thick lipsticky formulas, and it's a very wet shine, the highlighter. And these blushes, especially brown one, maybe even this soft, slightly grungy peach one, they'll provide a good alternative to Phytosurgent's Shimmer. This will give me a way to add a little bit of neutral color to my cheeks without it being too much on days when I want that. But you know what this is making me think about? It's making me think not just about the Ket Cream Fix formula, but about this blush in particular. Because it's this kind of really neutral color that I've been wanting to add to my cheeks to keep everything else super downplayed. And you know what? There is like a really shiny wet look formula in this palette as well. Maybe this is what I want and not the e.l.f. Also, as much as I love the thick lipsticky formula of the e.l.f., it is more inclined to be a little bit sticky, to stay a little bit sticky on the cheeks, whereas the Ket never does that. And I have been wearing my hair down a lot. So yeah, this is actually what I want. That's the blush and that's the highlight. It's a good move for me to shop my stash for face palettes because I overlook them. I open this drawer and I go for the individual blushes, the individual highlighters. And you know, this one wasn't even being stored over there because it also has complexion products in it. It was over here out of the way and I just was never remembering it, even though it's like basically my favorite blush color of all time. This part of this drawer, I'm reaching into it all the time. Nothing really gets overlooked here. I don't feel like I need to shop my stash for complexion. And if you saw my recent vanity declutter and reorganization, then you know that I made the executive decision to take my glowy base products, this sort of makeup skincare hybrids that are also illuminating, everything from Merit Great Skin, which is, you know, definitely a skincare and skin prep product, all the way through to things like Auric Glow Lust and the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow, which are more like makeup steps. Everything in this priming and liquid illuminating category I put up here with my skincare. So I sort of decided to permanently shop my stash for everything in that category, and I have been so happy with it since then, with how it's turned out. It has been delightful to choose among these 6 products for prepping my skin every day, and I've definitely gotten use out of some of them that I wouldn't have if I had left them in the back of that drawer, which is where they were before. I wore the RMS yesterday when I was spending a lot of time outside because I went to the farmer's market in the morning. Today I'm wearing the Natasha Denona Skin Glass underneath my makeup, and I definitely wouldn't have thought to do that if it hadn't been right here with all the rest of my skincare. Okay, last step. Lips. I love this category. When I've done anything dramatic lately on my face, it's been lipstick. And gosh, I'm kind of tempted to pull sort of a selection of things. I feel like I'm fooling myself if I don't choose Merit Aperitif because I've just been wearing it all the time. It's the limited edition True Red for summer in the Merit lipstick formula, which is, again, my favorite lipstick formula. It's like this clear, bright, almost watery, very wearable red that is perfect for summer. And I have been wearing it so much that I've sort of been keeping it on my vanity, and then I just am, you know, trying to remember to keep everything put away, so then I put it away. But it just makes so much sense to put it with my Shop My Stash stuff because, again, I'm trying to pick things that are going to make me feel the most excited to be putting on my makeup every day, and this is definitely that for me right now. But just like with the blushes, it makes me want to also pick some like balancing colors for the days when I want the opposite of that to keep me from defaulting to just nothing on the lips or clear gloss or something. And I've been thinking a lot about this, the L'Oreal Color Riche Shine and Lay Beige. This was a discovery in one of the drugstore makeup videos that I filmed recently, and I was so excited about it. Immediately decided to keep it, and then I just haven't really been finding time to wear it. It's gotten overridden by new things that I've been testing, other products that I had shopped my stash for, you know, so I'd like to pull this and just keep it out and see how much I end up actually wearing it. It's a great alternative to Aperitif, which I'll also swatch for you. There's Aperitif. You can see what I'm talking about it being kind of a light, watery color. It's like what makes it so wearable. There are also some really good swatches of this on my Instagram, and I will link that, comparing it to, you know, the other Merit Red. Oh, here's a product that I've been meaning to kind of get back out and wear more. So this is something that I got for review, I think around the holidays. The Westman Atelier liquid lip balm. It's like so fancy. And I just feel like this would be a great finishing touch on the sort of Bridget Bardot light look that I'm imagining I might use some of these products for. You know, not leaving the lips bare, but also not doing anything to throw the rest of the look off kilter. Yeah, I'll enjoy having that front and center, and I think I have room for one more. All right, a wild card. The Isamaya Black Veil Gloss, which I was so obsessed with in, was it like the fall and winter of last year? It is very special. I'll link my dramatic Isamaya review video so that you can actually see this on my lips because it's hard to get the full effect from a swatch. I could actually see this really complementing the super pale, washed out, dewy, glossy, no eye makeup looks that I've been doing. You know, it's like that on the rest of the face, and then this sort of dramatic, sensual, unusual glossy lip that's not too strong because it's still sheer. This is totally getting lost in the mix of my stuff right now. Like, I'm not picking it out of my drawer, but having it on my vanity might be another story. Okay, I did it. The results are a little bit unexpected, but I honestly couldn't be more excited about them. So for eyes, the Natasha Denona Glam palette and the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal Jewel Liner in the shade Night Flash to encourage me to make it a little more dramatic sometimes. For cheeks, we have this Ket Cream Fix custom palette. I think I'll especially be leaning on this shade, which I believe is called Bermuda, and then this really great wet look highlight. And I'm hoping that I will remember my promise to try some blush draping this season by keeping Phytosurgent's Simmer on deck. And then we have two lipsticks, L'Oreal Les Beige and Merit Aperitif, and two kind of nourishing semi-sheer products, the Westman Atelier Balm, which is in the shade Nana, and the Isamaya Black Veil Gloss. This is great because I feel like I can easily access the look that I'm feeling the most comfortable in these days. And I feel like there are also products here that are going to very gently tease me into a little bit more of a dramatic direction once in a while without it being a huge departure like the colorful eyeshadow would have been. It's like, it's not that big of a step from that very neutral, light, minimalist look to something a little more dramatic if you're just adding the Isamaya gloss, or if you're just adding a little bit of smoky liner, you know? Still keeping it kind of neutral, still keeping it really wearable, sophisticated. I think I'm going to be doing more than the bare minimum because of what I've chosen. Again, if you're enjoying your time here and you haven't subscribed yet, this is your reminder to subscribe. But no matter what, I hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.